Hey guys, Paul from Net Audio here again, and we're going to talk Mopar Dodge Ram Premium Audio. We're going to focus around the Dodge Ram stuff. Everything we're talking about here relates to the Dodge trucks and to the Dodge, some of the Dodge cars like the Chargers and Challengers, Chrysler 300, and the Jeep Wranglers. From the Jeep JK, JKU, JL, JLU, and the JT Gladiator. That was a mouthful. Some of this is pretty straightforward, some of it is very specialized. We're going to start with the easy stuff. So on our website, we sell a bunch of boxes. Well, at one point in time, our enclosure sales started dropping. And I was like, well, what the heck is going on? So I didn't know if somebody on social media was complaining, if we were having problems. So I reached out to some customers in the forums and I said, hey, what is going on? And what they told me is that a lot of guys were just really hesitant about tying in and working with their new premium systems in their brand new complicated vehicles. We started making and selling different harnesses and interfaces online. What we have on our website is we have bundles because it's just easier. It's just easier. What we're going to talk about, we're going to focus on the Dodge Rams, and then we can quickly touch on the Jeep Wranglers. The way that Mopar Premium Audio has worked since 2005 is it is very heavily data influenced. It's not a data-based structure like a BMW or a late model Chevy, but it is data controlled. Coming from the radio on the Alpine or Harman Kardon systems, you do not have 8 speaker wires. You don't have a front left, front right, rear left, rear right. You have a left and a right. And all you have is a positive negative for left and right speakers, and they are what's called a fixed level audio signal. And what that means is if I pull your radio and I take one of those pairs of wires and I hook a speaker up to it, all it's going to do is play full bore loud. There is no way to turn it down. The radio knob will not turn it down. Your steering wheel controls will not turn it down. It is loud. That fixed level audio signal goes from there, goes to the factory amplifier. The amplifier splits it all up, and it is told to do volume through data. So that's where it's data controlled, but it's not data based. So the amp is told to do volume. It's told to do fade and balance. It's told to do EQ. Your backup sensor chimes come from the backup sensor module and go to the factory amp through data, and then it plays through your speakers. That amplifier is controlling a lot of stuff, and then it splits up the audio signal from there to the dash speakers, to the door speakers, to the back speakers, to the subwoofer. It splits everything up according to their different frequency ranges, and I'm just trying to give you a real crash course on this. If you want to talk more in depth about that, hit us up. This was back from 2005. Dodge has been doing it that way. The old school way of doing that is you had to go to the factory amplifier and you had to take front dash speaker, front door speaker, and subwoofer and combine them using something like an audio control or a WaveTech interface in order to make a full range audio signal. You had to combine those 6 channels to get you a full range left and right variable volume signal. Real super pain in the butt. And then around 2016 or so, Mopar said, hey, I'm going to make this a lot more complicated for you. So now, when you have all those signal wires cut in half, now the amp says, I don't see a speaker, I don't see a load, and it starts muting those channels. Well, now you're having to add load resistors, and you're having to add a resistor to each channel in order to keep that signal happy, in order for you to keep the factory amplifier putting out sound. Then they throw in another loop. Now they start adding backup sensors. Well, those backup sensors are played through the back doors. So if you want to hear your backup sensors with your new premium audio system, well, now you have to do at least an 8-channel summing device, because now you need front door, front dash, front door, and back door, and subwoofer in order for you to have those backup beeps. It's just a super pain in the butt. Enter the Pac AmpPro. These things are like literal lifesaver. Yes, you can use an LC7. Yes, you can use a DSP and you can catch the signal at the amplifier, but holy crap, it makes the job so much more difficult. The AmpPro plugs in behind the radio, plugs in. It is simpler than putting in a aftermarket radio. There's nothing for you to wire up and splice. You remove the factory radio, you unplug the factory harness, you plug the factory harness into this, you plug this into the factory radio, and you move on with your life. You put it all back together and you're done. Couple of sleep cycles for the truck for it to learn the module, but that is it. It gives you front, rear, and subwoofer RCA output, gives you a remote turn on signal, and gives you a subwoofer level knob. And a whole lot of other geeky settings that if you plug it into a computer you can tweak with. We don't need to talk about that stuff today. Hallelujah, we have the AmpPro system. So what we have done on our website is we have amplifier integration kits. Let's take a 5th gen truck. If you have a 2020 Ram 1500 with Harman Kardon and you want to replace your whole sound system, then you're going to need this. But you're also going to need a amplifier interface harness. With this, these are universal. This works on a 2013 Dodge Ram, works on a 2020 Dodge Ram, works on a 2020 Dodge Challenger, Dodge Charger, Jeep, JL. It works on all of them. What's different and what's complicated is the factory amplifier. If we take the 2019 and up amplifiers, they are all at the core the same amp across all platforms. The plugs are the same, but the wire outputs, the programming of the amp are different per application. On the Harman system, you have a 12-channel amp running 19 speakers. Think about that for a little bit. But 2 of those go to the subwoofer. The rest of those are going to all the different speaker locations. On the Alpine system, same 12-channel amplifier, running 12 channels of audio, but it's a 10-speaker setup, and 3 of those are going to the factory subwoofer. Well, if it's a Jeep Wrangler with Alpine, it's a 4 voice coils factory subwoofer. They just have a bunch of different configurations. So yes, you can buy a harness that plugs into the factory plugs and it gives you all those speaker wires, but those speaker wires are all labeled speaker 1 through 12 because it's one harness, but per application, the wire outputs from that amp are all different. So what we've done is we have simplified that for you. You go to the website and you go to the amplifier integration harness and it has drop downs and you select the different year range for your platform. You select what factory system it has. You select if you have a 1500 or a heavy duty. On the Jeeps, you select if it's a Jeep JL, JLU Gladiator, whatever. And then you select what speakers you want to keep. So again, let's stick with that Harman Kardon system. You've got dash speakers like every Dodge. You also have the front doors. You also have little tweeters that are in the middle of the door. In the back, you have the back doors, and then you have ceiling speakers, and a center channel. You pick which one of those that you want to keep, and then we make that harness for you. We're taking that harness, we're extending all the wires. You select what length you want. We go default to 17 foot, and we go down shorter based off of where you're going to mount your amplifier. And yeah, we're just taking a harness and we're extending some wires. But we are labeling this harness for you for your application. This way, if you have the Harman system and you want to keep all those different locations, then we take those and we extend them and we label them so it's ready to go. So you plug this in at the factory amplifier, and what this is letting you do is use the factory speaker wires through the truck with your new amplifier. This way, you're not having to cut and splice or do anything. It makes the installation so much easier. Yes, you're paying some money up front because you're spending big money just on this, but then you're spending money on this and you're paying for convenience. Yes, you can buy a harness. Yes, you can sit there with a multimeter, or yes, you can get a diagram and you can pick through everything and decipher what it's saying. Or you buy a harness from us, we make it, we ship it to you, it's color-coded and labeled, and you hook it up. It just really makes things simpler. This isn't just a part we sell. This is how we install them. If you bring us your truck and it has one of these factory systems in it, this is the way we do it. And this is also where it gets complicated. So say this is for a 2020 Ram with Harman. Well, if you have another 2020 Ram with Harman, but it's a heavy duty, this won't work. They changed the pinouts. It's the same plug, but the wire outputs from that amplifier are in different locations. So this is why we have to know what your vehicle is, and then we wire it up accordingly. Every bit of this is plug and play. We can take a brand new truck and install everything you want to install plug and play. We also have a system on there where you can buy it with the speaker harnesses so that they plug into the factory plug in the door or on the dash or in the ceiling, and that way your whole process is plug and play. Now the next wrench is during COVID, I guess, at some point in time, Dodge said, hey, we're going to change up the plugs behind the radio. And my guess is that they had to change manufacturers or something like that, because data-wise and everything else, it's all the same. 22 and up Mopar vehicles, I don't care if it's a Dodge pickup, if it's a Ram Classic even, or if it's a Jeep, they change the harness. So it goes from one big black plug to two small plugs. It goes to a blue and a green. If you have a 22 and up Ram, then we also include this adapter harness. You have your AmpPro, and then you have your AmpPro converter harness. This is all, again, one plug and play kit. If you're putting in a 4-channel, 8-channel, DSP, amplifier, doesn't matter. This is everything you need to have to bypass everything, and it comes with the ANC bypass and all of that stuff that you need. You just go to the website and you put in your vehicle's information. It's going to populate and change the prices and all that stuff based off the length of the wire and how many different speakers you're wanting to use, all of that stuff. I know everybody's going to have questions on configuration. That's fine. That's what we're here for. Hit us up in the messages and we can point you in the right direction. Shoot us a message through social media. Hit us up through Gmail, netaudiowf@gmail.com, or you can call the shop. We're always going to answer 940-767-1800. If you're purchasing our products, we will absolutely offer tech support on installation through these. That is what you're paying for. You don't get that from Amazon. You get that from Net Audio. Hit us up. Like I said, if you all have questions or concerns, ask away and we'll be glad to get you taken care of. So keep an eye on the website. We have new products like this coming out all the time. If you have anything that you need to get done, give us a shout and we'll get you taken care of. Thanks, guys. As an information dump.